5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Milou.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Mac.
I'm Casey.
I'm Josh.
And we're the Upstairs District.
I'm just going to ask, name where you're from, what you play in the band, and what's your motivation for making music.
My name is Casey. I'm from Greenfield, Mass. I play drums mainly in the band, but I also play guitar, bass. I sing sometimes. I sometimes write guitar parts for our songs, but not as often as I play drums. I think a very universal motive for a lot of artists is to get what you're feeling and what you're thinking internally, somehow manifest that externally in something, whether it's music, poetry, art. That feels like a really, one of the most meaningful things any given person can do. Art sustains people. If people aren't doing well emotionally, you hear a song and it's like, wow, I connect with this. I feel this on an emotional level, and to be able to connect with someone in that way also feels really meaningful.
I'm Josh. I'm from Greenfield. I play bass, and my motive for making music is to have fun at the end of the day.
My name is Mac. I play the guitar, and my motivation for making music is probably, just it's very feeling based for me. I don't really know what it is yet. I still don't know why I like music.
I don't know.
Because I've been in a horrible music block for 6 months where I put on literally anything or hear any song, and pretty much almost everything I just within 5 seconds I'm like, and I don't know what's wrong with me. So that's been giving me an interesting perspective on music. So I feel like it's just the fact that when we write things that A, we like and resonate with, and then B, can express, and I'm able to play it as well. So there's the physical feeling of playing, because playing an instrument correctly, when you play something and you get it right, it feels good. So I think it's really just, it's just that same thing as anything else. Just trying to feel good.
He says as he cracks every joint in his body.
Did I do that? Yeah. Thinking cracks. You got those?
Yeah. I'm Ryan from Sudbury, Mass, and I play the keys in the Upstairs District. And my motivation for playing music, I don't know what else I would do if I didn't.
My name is Milou. I am from Greenfield, Massachusetts. I sing and I play guitar in the Upstairs District. And I write music because I would love to inspire somebody someday, the way that I've been inspired by a lot of other people. If somebody ever came up and was just like, hey, you really inspired me, and now I play drums, or now I do something musical, or now I write music to be able to express myself in a more meaningful way, that would be great. And if you don't make music, you don't have those experiences. So that's why I make music.
How did you guys meet and decide you wanted to play together?
Us four, Milou, Mac, myself, and Casey, we met in 7th grade. We met Ryan actually fairly recently, like within the year.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been watching us for
Yeah.
10
We've
years.
been tight, yeah.
Yeah, and these two were playing music, and they originally had somebody else playing, and they asked me to come and join in, and then we were doing that for a while, and then we went in a different direction, I would say, and then we got Casey in on it.
Just want to say loud and proud, we're from Greenfield, Massachusetts.
We are from Greenfield, yes.
And from
We're-
Turner's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turner's Falls.
Don't mention that, Mac. It's unsavory.
It's very close
don't mention
by.
Turner's Falls.
But yeah, we're all from Western Mass. All of us.
For sure, yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all of us.
Not this kid.
And we went to a very small high school. We were in a graduating class. The four of us were part of a 36
Hey, that
student,
extra
37.
37.
What? Oh, 37.
Genius.
Yeah, so all four
Just
of us were part of a graduating class of 37 students at a tiny little charter school in Western Mass. So, I don't know. It's not a very typical school, and there was a lot of focus on making music and just all kinds of art during high school. And other members of the band in previous iterations were also from that school, so it was very much a high school band, a Four Rivers band. Yeah.
How did you come up with your name?
I'll take this one.
Yep, so yeah, you got this one.
So I was living in Montreal, and I was starting my solo project because we were in a band that was called Raspberry Jam, and then I went to college and left Western Mass for a while, and I was doing my solo music, and I didn't want to go by my name because I thought that was kind of cringy. So then I started a Reddit page. What do you do on Reddit? Is it a Reddit page? A Reddit
Account.
Forum?
An account, yeah. Sorry, I started a Reddit account.
Start a
And
Reddit page.
they had this like random Reddit username generator, and it just the first thing that popped up was the Upstairs District, and I was like, whoa, that's actually like
Whoa.
kind of fitting, because we played in the attic. We practiced a lot in my attic back at home, and that's where the studio is set up now, and so it just really fit.
Yeah, we all love Reddit.
We love
Yeah,
Reddit.
Take away.
avid Reddit fans.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What artists are your biggest inspirations for your music?
should probably get on the line for that one.
Name two.
Yeah.
Go in order.
Very
This
Sure.
way. Zigzag.
Number one, I got Spirit of the Beehive. I love their stuff, and probably Men I Trust. Although it doesn't really come through in a lot of our music, I think it's a huge inspiration just
It will.
because of how their brains work in such a creative way because they're able to do so much within their very confined sound. Ryan and I were talking about this actually the other day, that Men I Trust is like, any song you hear, it's instantly like, oh, that's Men I Trust, but all of their songs are somehow different. Like, the arrangements, the melodies, and they're all very distinct, and so that's something that I really try to carry into what we write.
Yeah. For me, Bon Iver, Frank Ocean. What's that?
Enough said.
For me, probably right now, Periphery and Polyphia.
What are those bands? I don't know if people have
Oh,
heard of
Periphery is like a progressive metal band that's been around since like 2010, run like mainly by this dude named Misha Mansour, and it's like progressive metal. But then Polyphia is not. Polyphia used to be metal, but now has like hip hop stuff in it, which is interesting. But it's also not that. I don't know. It's worth looking at. Polyphia.
It's like pop metal. No?
Yeah.
Polyphia. P-H.
Lots of
That's
P's.
I think my influences have changed a lot over time, but as of now, I would say Big Thief, the lead vocalist and guitarist for Big Thief, Adrienne Lenker, she's masterful, as well as Bon Iver, worthy mention. But I used to listen to a lot of John Frusciante. He's the guitarist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, if anybody doesn't know. But he was, I used to listen to like a lot of his music. I also listened to some of like Polyphia as well, like, which is like, there's a lot of like, yeah, it's really very varied.
Pretty broad.
Pretty
spectrum,
broad, yeah. It's I, like my music influences, like I listen to different music depending on how I
You
feel.
listen to everything.
Yeah, it kind of just goes wherever I go. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the same boat. I feel like I don't have a specific influence. I think music as a whole just influences you in ways that you don't necessarily realize. And it's hard to pin it down to one artist for me. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that.
What was your first
Very much
inspiration,
so.
man? What was your first like? Oh, now I like music, because maybe I'm outing myself, but for me it was Weezer. You know, I was like 6 years old. I was like, Buddy Holly slaps. But I don't know, what was it?
It's also hard to say because it's like it feels like I've always been into it. I mean, my dad's been a musician for all his life essentially, and so I can't really pin it down to one song or one artist. If I had to pick, actually,
Tell us, Josh.
probably be like something classic rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all listen to like super varied music, and I think like each of us has like our own selection of just like really weird artists, and then all together, when we like combine all those influences, the end product is like super unique, super strange.
Because, like, I mean, I guess it goes back to who. When you're writing a song, that's when you try to bring in your inspirations, and sometimes you aren't really thinking about a specific artist. You're thinking about a feel, or you're thinking about I don't know, some sort of bigger idea than just like, hey, you know what would be sick is like if we sounded like the Strokes, and then you're like every other band ever, and you just sound kind of similar to somebody else, and
Like us. Right now.
Who do we sound like? Who do you think we sound like?
Bon Iver. I don't know. That's probably what
Johnny
it is.
Cash.
Johnny Cash?
Yeah, I
I
want
think
to say.
we're
Johnny
gonna
Cash.
start our Johnny Cash era soon.
Yeah.
We're actually a Johnny
John
Cash cover
Lennon.
band.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, that's good that you start talking about songwriting, because my next question is, what is your songwriting process like?
Hell.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Unbridled chaos.
Yeah,
It's gonna change.
it's pretty
It's gonna
chaotic.
change.
Those two words definitely sum it up. Hell and chaos.
Yeah.
But good
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the whole.
I think we all have the things that we think sound good, and we're pretty open when with each other about like, I don't like that, and after a while, and you just kind of feel, I don't know, like you don't want to do it anymore, and that happens pretty frequently.
And sometimes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
For like half an hour, you're like,
Depending
no,
on the
this is awful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not happening, but also, sometimes when songs, at least for us, get written, they're written in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And what was that quote? Like the best songs just get written, something like that.
You talking about like Mac DeMarco?
Yeah.
When he I think it was something along the lines of like, yeah, I've never released a song that I didn't write in 2 hours,
Yeah.
or something like that. And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's a great mantra.
It's Sometimes I think we try and force it too hard.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that sums it up.
Going back
pretty
to
well.
just like how long we've known each other, so Mac, Josh, and so these four. Sorry, Ryan.
That's fine.
We've known each other for 10 years, and we've been in a band for 8 of those 10 years, and then, if not writing music together, we've been playing music together for 8 years. We've been in pit bands together. We just, I don't know, like there's some.
And sports teams.
And sports teams,
Yep.
and which is underrated. You know, you don't see a lot of sporty, athletic musicians.
Ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee.
Yeah.
Well, we also played
soccer and
we played
basketball.
Soccer and basketball. Mac
This
actually
is
really
funny.
good at basketball. I feel like that's a fun fact. Like people might not know this, but Mac is actually like weirdly good at basketball.
I'm probably like really out of shape right now because I like don't exercise.
Mac used to be really good
Can't
at
you see?
basketball.
I'm mortally wounded.
Yeah, but there's this like unspoken understanding from just like so many years, like literally knowing someone for a decade and writing music with them for years. You just have an understanding. I guess, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
simplest way to put it.
Where is the most bizarre place, or what is the most bizarre way you've thought of a song?
Most bizarre place that we've thought of a song. I do a lot. This is maybe really specific to UMass, but for some reason, whenever I walk through the Fine Arts Center, that like huge, like what would you call that?
Like the walkway,
The walkway.
the arts bridge underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like I have strange ideas, and I pull out my phone, and most of the time I look through them again, and they're all just like, and like weird melodies, and sometimes they turn into songs. And for
Name one.
Psychotic Break,
Okay.
that is like I was thinking of the, and like that was like coming into my head, and I was like, oh, I should do something with that, and yeah. No, that was probably the weirdest. Like that area is somehow just like.
So we should go walk over
Yeah,
there.
we should
yeah,
just
we should
stroll
Yeah.
all
we
day.
should mill about in the
There's nothing to
Hagus
know
Mall.
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody strange places? Strange.
I think of I think of things in the shower at like 3:30 in the morning every night for some reason.
Yeah.
'Cause that's like, well, I don't know.
And when you take your daily shower.
Well, yeah, I usually like, well, I'm like doing stuff, and then I gotta smoke weed, and then I gotta hit the dab pen, and then take a shower, and I'm like, and then I think about music, and then I get out of the
forgot the-
shower, and I'm like, I gotta pick up my guitar, but it's 4 in the morning, and then I wake up and it's gone.
But you forgot the smoking again.
Hmm?
Yeah.
You gotta get your second one in after you.
He goes in
After
rounds.
shower.
The after smoke.
I don't smoke
The
after a
after vape
shower.
smoke.
Yeah.
I have a routine. There's
There's
no.
a vape
I don't even have the lights on after the shower.
Oh.
Off. Well, no,
Wait,
no.
do you have the
like,
lights on
no,
while you're
like,
showering?
no, like you.
Any mood lights?
Yeah,
Fun
yeah.
fact: Mac doesn't shower
Oh
with
my
the lights
God.
on.
No, that'd be weird and scary.
Yeah, it would be scary. That's like psychopath behavior. Yeah.
I watched Joker
sometimes-
last night.
I sometimes come up with
That's like
ideas
behavior.
whenever I work at a lot of like I'm a dishwasher. I work in a lot of restaurants, and you just get like in this zone of like washing dishes, and like when my brain shuts off, I'll just like it feels like I can move anywhere inside my head, and there's like I'm like, whoa, I just heard like this song, like, or like I also I used to play a lot of Minecraft, and you get into
still play
this
a lot
like
of
Used
I don't play that much. I would like sometimes with Kiernan. but-
2 hours a day.
Yeah.
no, that's not true. But like when you get into like the mode of like building something or mining something, it like just like very repetitive things just cause me to like go into this zone, and I'm like, oh, I hear something. What's going on?
You ever get anything when you kill creepers?
No, that's
Gets
not
an
very
endorphin rush.
repetitive.
Yeah.
It's repetitive if you're
I just
boss.
realized something.
Right.
Raise your hand if you've worked in the food service industry here.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like when you were saying like, oh yeah, I wash dishes and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder how many like people have gone through that horrible
It's a
experience. of,
weirdly
like,
common
I
experience.
didn't dishwash. I just waited.
Yeah. What'd you do, Josh?
Delivery driver.
What is your
Catering.
worst job? Sorry, I'm taking the interview.
Yeah.
What was your worst job, Josh?
Private EMS.
Private EMS.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fun fact about Josh.
Yeah.
Josh was
He's
an
from
EMT.
Eastern
Ooh.
Mountain Sports.
Yeah.
I know.
I cut my hand at a show, and he assisted so that the
I
show
did,
could go
that's
on.
true.
It's a medical professional.
Yeah.
Anybody could have done that. But, you know.
But he did.
Oh, stop. You're being too humble.
What was
Yeah.
your worst job, Mac?
I mean, I don't know. I liked working at the restaurant. The Lone Wolf in Amherst.
Rest in peace.
Rip. I like their brunch. Yeah, I don't know. Probably the worst job. Just go with various stupid frisbee jobs that Josh and I have done over the years together in weird places. Like, where is that place? It's next to Air,
Oh,
Massachusetts.
that place.
Yeah, that one place.
Wow.
What's next to Air?
The Fort Devon's. that's what it
Devon's.
is.
Fort Devon?
You worked at Fort Devon's?
No, well, we did water or something for a frisbee tournament, but we weren't really needed, and then this kid kicked me in the nuts, and I held him upside down by his ankles, and that's all I remember about that day.
Sounds like a pretty bad job.
But we made
yeah.
$200 for the weekend, so it was actually we were so happy.
Okay.
But I did get kicked in the nuts.
Do you want
Right,
to?
Josh, it happened?
No.
Yes.
Did either you guys have a really horrible job?
I mean, no shade against this establishment or this once was
you don't have to
establishment.
say, yeah,
Okay,
wow.
okay. Well, it was.
He wants to.
Who's your boss?
Well,
though?
no. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
list the name of
man.
everyone who worked there. Like it was a nice place. I met my girlfriend there, but it was
Oh, is this the-
severely understaffed.
Casey and I actually worked there together.
The
This
walk-in freezer was in the basement, so every time the head chef
just at
needed
the-
something, we had to run down.
the
And it was
Alps.
like,
Yeah.
I know what.
but it would have been less hectic if we had more people, but it was during COVID, so like no one wanted to work, and so it was just me and like one or two other people just running the back of house. So yeah.
What is your favorite song of yours to perform together and why?
I feel like my favorite song to perform at the moment is 11 p.m. Because, like, there's this part in our live performances when I'll go over and I'll just start, like, bashing on Casey's drums. And I'm, like, I'm terrified that I'm going to, like, hit him because he's not paying attention, I'm not paying attention. We both just got going at it.
We're
but
just flailing limbs.
It's a lot of
you
fun.
know?
That's a fun song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say not so great, just because I get a little bit of I have been putting in a little bit of a tasty little bass solo in there. So,
I thought it was because it's the one song we let you sing on.
no, that too.
We let him
That's
sing.
We
fine.
let him sing.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, the riff that I play is really fun to me.
I guess DX7 is pretty fun to play live because I get to like use my whammy bar. It has like a lot of things that I have to like actually pay attention to, like, you know, like a lot of like technique stuff that like if I'm not paying attention, it will not be right. So that one's fun.
I really like playing Psychotic Break because we all wrote that song. That's like one of the only songs that we all wrote like together. Like there's every part in that song. Like that little part where the synth goes into like this more atmospheric part of the song. Like Milou showed me the draft of that song and I was like, this has to go in.
Yeah.
Like we have to do that.
I think that, yeah, just collectively, we all really enjoy playing Psychotic Break.
Yeah.
Even though it's difficult, just because it's so driving. You're literally playing the entire time. But I think that also makes it better in a way because, you know, it takes a lot of work for 5 people to be able to come together and, you know, show up, literally, and in the
We're
music,
there.
you know? So I think, can we agree on that?
Yeah. Agreed. We're in agreement.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite show that you have played?
I wanted to say my favorite show was Springfest, and then I remembered the sound. I couldn't hear myself for the whole thing, and I'm always really like self-conscious that I sound bad when I can't hear myself, and that's why I do this a lot.
You always sound the same. You
Oh,
were just
thanks.
you were also sick that day. So what is your favorite show if it's not Springfest?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about like I think my favorite show that we've ever played was when we were just starting to get into our groove last year, and we played at the UMass Outing Clubhouse
Yeah.
on Halloween.
Oh, that was fun.
And
No, that
you were
is-
dressed as Scott Pilgrim. I was dressed up as Austin Powers. Josh was in his
Josh was
was
weird.
it like an epic pajama
Oh, it was like
bunny
a
suit?
monkey
Or no,
suit or
monkey?
I was a
something?
monkey.
With monkey pajamas.
Yes.
Casey was. We really wanted. This is gonna be.
Oh
a
my
good joke.
god.
Casey was gonna be a flasher, you know? He was gonna
I
wear
did
just a
not.
trench coat on the drums, and like slowly it was gonna like start to come open during the show.
Yeah.
I forget what you actually went as.
You
It
wouldn't-
I
wasn't-
literally
you
just
wouldn't
wore
do it.
regular clothes.
Casey was just
It
Casey.
was me.
Mm.
I was gonna say that show too. I went through a big period of time where I was just sitting in my room and doing nothing a lot, and then
Playing
we
Minecraft.
played a show, and just like all this energy came out. It was like whoa, and then we started playing shows like a lot, and it was a very very cool thing that happened last fall.
Yeah, I agree.
Ryan, do you have a favorite show?
Oh, you know, it's the show we put on every single day of our lives, you know?
The show.
True.
Damn.
Alright, what's the craziest thing that's happened at one of your shows?
We all we all ended up wearing pants. And that was like, I wasn't expecting that. Because like sometimes,
yeah.
I mean, at least like for Casey, it's not a given that he'll be, you know, wearing anything. So
Yeah.
That's the flasher joke, you know? So.
Ha. We used to play at the shed at Edge Hill Place, Edge Hill Road or whatever it's called. But randomly, I was playing Cool Guy, this song where there's like really fast stuff going on, and the snare drum falls into my lap, and I'm like, no one notices. I'm like
think I've heard this
struggling,
story
like
before.
guys, please, there's something, anything.
I never saw that.
Yeah,
I never heard
it
of that.
happened.
I mean,
No,
you
it didn't.
recovered so cleanly from it that
Literally.
nobody ever knew.
When we were playing in Alston a couple weeks ago, Casey actually decided to fall down the stairs
Yeah.
into the basement and rip all the skin off of right here right before we were going to
Super
play
gross.
a show.
There's a picture on our Visco of me just like with bandaged up.
I should have gotten a pic of you on the ground at the bottom too.
Yeah, like I fall.
Get him
oh
on
shit!
down.
He got up really fast.
I did.
Oh, That was that
EMT
probably
Josh
is
fixed him,
one of
though.
the crazier things that's happened at our show.
Yeah, they don't let people use those stairs anymore. Cause
Really?
yeah.
Well, then
that's what Ethan was
the
saying.
two other people fell down the stairs, including the guitarist of another band, and he
it was
ripped up
4.
right here.
I
Four.
took the worst
Yeah.
hit though.
They were really dangerous
Yeah.
stairs, and of course it had to be
They
Casey,
go like
and it had
that.
to be his right hand.
Yeah.
But if it was any of our right hands, it would have been
That's
totally
the fine.
fine.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Like you could have just. But it was like the whole hand. It was
It was like
bleeding.
this is the
everywhere.
finger that the sticks rest on, and it was these two fingers that like got messed up.
Oh,
We
yeah.
played a
That's in New
show
York
in a
City.
weird club in New York City called Seven.
It was called, like
7-Eleven.
8
No,
something.
8. It was called
There's a
something.
number.
That's
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Number and
damn
a
sure.
noun.
There was some show in New York, and we were-
87.
Maybe, maybe.
It was maybe like the building number
But it was like-
probably.
There's a bunch of kids getting really rowdy. And the floor, it was like one of these old New York buildings, and it was just like you could.
Everyone was jumping.
No.
You could
We
feel
played
it.
with some cool bands. There was like a band from LaGuardia called On Pink that probably is doing well if they're still around right now
Those guys were crazy.
because they were good.
Alright, what makes you separate from other bands?
What sets us apart from other bands in this area and other bands in general is the feeling that once you've found our stuff, you found it. It's not that we're putting it out there all the time for people to like, oh, I keep seeing the Upstairs District everywhere. Like, what's that? They must be good. It's the fact that like we're kind of keeping it to ourselves in a way and hoping that when people find it they go like, oh, I'm really glad that I found this.
It's better to like hear about it in context or see us play or something like that as opposed because then
It had like a personal connection. with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think one of the great things about the place
Yeah.
that we're in is that Amherst has such a vibrant and like rich collaborative music scene, and like
Yeah.
I think the best part about, I mean for me at least, being in this band is getting the chance to work with so many other great bands in the area and like build those relationships and like help each other build our music, and we're all doing very different things, and I think that's what's so great.
Yeah, we love hanging out with the Backspies.
we
Very
did. We
cool.
just started
Eco.
hanging out with the Backstreets
Eco,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Cool.
Two of them
Yeah.
came to my birthday party, and I didn't even invite
Wow.
them because I think his girlfriend did. But still, and it was
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah, I mean there
shout out Chris
are
and
lots of
James.
Shout
Yeah.
out Chris and James
Shout out
from
Chris
the
and
Backstreets.
James.
Those guys are
Shout
chillers.
out to them. How do I word this? What has been our effect on like the UMass music scene, I guess, that you like to your understanding?
Local Mojo is hype.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is
Yeah.
hype, and it's resources that everybody really needed when we were starting out. What do you say, 2019? When we were starting to play more at UMass. There was nothing like Local Mojo, even like last year until the spring. And it was like, when we're saying it was dead here, it was like us, Stone the Druggist, Fleetwood Fox, whatever their name is.
druggist.
Oh,
Wait, no,
Foxes,
Northwest
Northwest Fox.
You guys, I think Local Mojo
Mojo Pork. Watch Mojo.
like reaches a lot more people than we can just, get to come to our shows. Like having you guys help promote stuff just because like it seems like you guys really like the scene and want it to grow, and that's fantastic. That is amazing. So
Can I add one thing as well? It also, I really like that it's just cool to have kind of a band relationship with you guys a little bit too, because like, I don't know, it kind of feels like, like we're working together on stuff all the time, so like we know someone in the industry, and so like we get to,
That's true.
it feels like we have like a more of a community when we have more like friends and like organizations like you guys.
So like Local Mojo summed up in 3 words: resources, community, hype.
Hype and friendly.
Hype.
3 words.
Yeah.
Hype.
Should cut to you hiking a
Hike,
ball,
hike, hike.
a ball to Josh.
Yeah, it actually. Demographics too is something that Local Mojo really helps with. Like, I don't know. I think maybe it was just how I was viewing the scene back in 2019. Bars. But like you'd walk into a basement show and everybody, and I mean like everybody would just look the same. You'd have like the same outfit. You'd have every like cool indie kid who like, oh, I just heard about this cool band, or like Dad City. You remember Dad City, that venue?
I like that.
Tame Impala.
It was just, yeah, bro.
Never heard of them.
Impala, crazy.
Wait, who are they?
There are
But
there's
it was
definitely a
just
lot
like-
more
It's one
types
guy.
of people that we see
Oh,
at
wow.
more shows now, and that's definitely thanks to you guys at Local Mojo. I cannot think anything but
Watch Mojo.
Watch Mojo.
Yeah.
I refer to you guys only as Watch Mojo.
No, I definitely, I think that that's the biggest point, is that it is so much more diverse now, and you have stuff like East Coast Oracles, who are doing, they're kind of picking up where another rap group left off from.
Stash Gang Fastlane as well.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like these demographics, bringing them together in a very cool way that I have not seen at UMass.
Yeah, it was also because we had last year we had a whole like band meeting with like the SJC, the Social Justice Coalition, about like
Survivors.
about just concert safety, sexual assault, topics like that, and I don't know, we talked about that a lot as a band, and then I felt like once we were more outward with that as like a band community and we're talking about it at our shows, it also felt like it made our shows feel more accessible to more people, because it can be scary, especially like if you have if I was not in a band, it would be if I wasn't going with someone, it would be a lot of effort for me to go to a house show by myself. That sounds stressful as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a social person, but it's like, it's hard. You don't know people a lot of the time, and it's loud, and you get drunk sometimes, and so it's nice to feel safe, and I feel like that's also going to help with this.
Yeah.
What does your music represent, or what would you say your message is?
It's an interesting question, what the music represents and where it comes from. And we are still, I like to think, in the infancy of the Upstairs District. I think there's like so much room for us to grow and expand and just be eclectic. Like, I don't want to get stuck in our own style. And a lot of the music that we play live is stuff that I've written, and it's a different approach going into writing something alone for yourself and writing for this band. And the Upstairs District is so much more energy and fun and wild, and just like the intention behind it is for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's kind of the intent with writing the songs, is not for us but for everybody else.
Do you have like any rituals before your shows, or things you always like make sure you do?
Yeah, the biggest ritual that happens before every show is one of us, usually it's either Josh or Milou, will sit down and come up with a set list about like 5 minutes before we go on. And
I don't want to do that anymore.
it's
fun.
It's fun, but it's a little stressful sometimes. But
required.
I think it keeps us on our toes, and it's, we have like a selection of core songs that we do at most of our shows. But when we're sitting down right before we go on and figuring out the structure of it, it forces us to like take our material and do it in a different way every single night.
Yeah, you never want to play the same show twice, even if you're playing the same music.
And we never do.
It is cool. If reorganizing set lists is
I
fun.
think also for me, getting together before the show and just goofing off for an hour and then playing the show, I don't know, that gets me in the mindset that
Yeah.
I know these guys, I love these guys, let's do this,
Where do you see this band in the next 5 years?
Depends on a lot of things. Because we have, we might have changing members, because Ryan might be going, well, at least
We're all
fill
going
in,
global.
Yeah.
fill in members until he gets back or something, but Ryan might be going away to Ireland for a semester or a year? Full year. So that would be, we'd have to, he can still write with us and everything from distance. That's all totally possible. You can just Zoom you in sometimes too, but we'll need another person. So I feel like we're going to be different than we are right now, no matter what that is. it's not going to sound like this, and our lineup probably won't be the same.
It's kind of a sad question in
Might
some
have more
ways.
people.
Like, where do we see ourselves in 5 years? I hate thinking about the future, just in general. It, like, really bums me out, because, you know, it's not like I used to think about the future, but then nothing happened the way I wanted it to, but nothing happens the way you want it to, and so, 5 years from now, where do we want the band to be versus where do we think the band will actually be are two pretty loaded questions, like you said, and I think in 5 years what I want to do is I want to have a reputation of being a really good, tight band with interesting material, and that gets, the notice of other bands that I really respect, because the ultimate goal for this is to be well respected in...
Yeah, so we can be friends with everybody.
Right. Yeah, I guess, sure.
That's my goal.
But like, if you're well respected within your community and people understand that you hold yourself to a certain level, and that just all of these factors, like, that is where I want to get, and I want to be known as a band that is pushing a little bit, that's making new stuff, new sounds, and yeah, no, I guess that's mainly just the reputation of just being a good band with good people and good music,
We could 5 years is a long time. It's
5
a
years
long
isn't. We've
time.
already been in it for
we
8,
could,
so.
We
Yeah.
could, for all we know, we could be a totally different band name again. Because 5 years ago was a long time ago. It was 2017.
Yeah,
we were
5 years ago
we were
I
just
wasn't
starting to
here.
get Raspberry Jam going a little
Yeah.
more and more serious.
Mm-hmm. And you learn every time. So 5 years from now, who knows?
Alright, what can you tell us about any new music or new music that hasn't been released yet?
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
TM.
That's what we can tell you about our new music. It's on
Yeah,
the way.
we got
That's
a
what we should say. We should keep it mysterious.
got a bunch of
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
It's not
Um,
done. It's not done.
We
I mean, it could drop at any time.
that is what we've been wanting to
It
do.
will drop at any
Um,
time.